Hi everybody, Scott here from the Introvert Power channel. In this video I'm going to talk about INFJs and stress. So I think the world has and just the way the world functions, I think it tries to pull the INFJ into the world through the extroverted sensing inferior function. And I think just basically it's because we live in an extroverted world and there's more senses than intuitives, and so I think just naturally the world just expects more extroverted sensing behaviours, if you like, than introverted intuition ones. When that happens for a prolonged period of time, I guess you could call it the INFJ being in the grip of their extroverted sensing function, but just sort of in a low level constant way, rather than like a momentary in the grip reaction to something. It's more like a low level constant extroverted sensing in the grip experience, where the INFJ sort of loses touch, if you like, with their introverted intuition, or it kind of gets dulled or lost, I think is too strong a word, but in a sense it's the extroverted sensing that's dominating. And I think what happens, or what can happen from a functions point of view, is that the introverted intuition, where the INFJ lives and breathes, becomes almost scattered, in the sense that it's like the INFJ becomes internally disorganized when in a low-level grip reaction. I think because INFJs just don't do extroverted sensing very well, life just becomes very disorganized. But it's more, it is an external disorganization, if that's the right word. But it's the more important piece of this is the internal sense of being disorganized. And I think kind of what happens is, I think it's an NI, or it can be an NI-TI issue, and it's like that NI needs sorting. It needs time. It needs nurturing. It needs attention. It needs to be structured in a way, and I think that's where the TI function can come in the sense of filing things away, and I think that's both an internal and an external experience and behaviour. So some INFJs might find tidying their external world, whether that's and that could be anything at all. It could be the garage, it could be the cleaning the house, it could be filing documents away, it could be cleaning up their computer files, putting them in their proper locations, all of that sort of thing. It could be some kind of behaviour in that way that will cause an internal sense of order. So, a bit like defragmenting a hard drive. As the files are sorted in the defragmenting process and are put in a more systematic way, that in a sense is what can happen inside the INFJ when they clean up or organise, is probably the best way to describe it, their external world. And I think that just ties into the J function of finishing off loose ends. Because I think what can happen for INFJs when they're stressed is things aren't finished, which is just stress city for an INFJ. So being conscious about tidying or ordering the external world will have a natural flow-on effect of structuring and creating order in the internal world. And in a way, it's another way to describe it. It's like there's a blockage in the functions because the NI and the TI are not flowing, and so there can be sort of a blockage there. And so by clearing the blockage, it actually creates more room for the INFJ to be in their NI function, gaining more insights, developing more thoughts, and just getting comfortable again, really. And I think by creating some order in the external world puts the INFJ's functions back in order. I think it settles down the extroverted sensing reaction. The TI gets an opportunity to do what it does best, which is creating some logical order within the INFJ, which creates a lot more room for the introverted intuition to just do what it does naturally, and the extroverted feeling there in the sense that the INFJ is just going to be a happier person, and they're going to be more outward focused in regards to the world of people, and it's going to be more positive because that extroverted sensing reaction is not happening, and so the INFJ, is able to be just more present, more centered, and just more at peace. So there's just some of my thoughts on INFJs and stress, how INFJs can get stressed, and a possible way of handling and dealing with the stress to get into a more functional place. So I wonder if other INFJs can relate to this. Be really interested to hear other ways that INFJs handle stress and get into a more harmonious place. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.